Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beth. And for today's video, I am finally going to be filming my video about some new Jo Malone fragrances. So as you may be aware, Jo Malone recently launched a Highland collection, and I have this little cologne discovery collection. So I'm going to be sampling all 4 of these and telling you my thoughts. And then I thought I would also talk a little bit about a re-release that has come out this year. So this is the Jo Malone Sakura Cherry Blossom Cologne. So I picked this up during the Sephora VIB sale. So this does release, if not every year, then at least pretty frequently. And I thought I would just do a little comparison between this Jo Malone fragrance, which is kind of seasonal, and the Guerlain Flora Teresa, I think is how you say it. So this is, I think, an eau de toilette that Guerlain sells all the time. So I thought I would just do a little comparison between these 2 fragrances, as they are both cherry blossom scents. And all of these fragrances, as far as I know, are currently available. I'm kind of sneaking this under the wire in terms of talking about these limited edition fragrances or spring releases as we are getting into summer. But anyway, I wanted to let you know my thoughts. All right, so this is the Highland collection. So it's basically themed around the Scottish Highlands. And I won't tell you my last name for privacy reasons, but I do have kind of some Scottish ancestry, so I did want to pick this up, and in general, I'm just a fan of Jo Malone. So this discovery set was $20. The 1 ounce or 30 ml sizes of the fragrances, which is this size, I believe, yeah. So they come out in this size. I think this is the only size they're available other than this discovery set, which I think is sold out. But this size retails for $82. So for the collection in general, the description is a majestic wilderness, misty moors, heather-clad hills, and ancient castles reclaimed by nature. The untamed beauty of the Scottish Highlands inspires a new limited edition collection. So the 4 fragrances in this collection are Wild Achillea, Mallow on the Moor, Highland Heather, and Melancholy Thistle. So in no particular order here, I'll start off with Highland Heather, and I haven't smelled these yet. So in addition to having some Scottish ancestry, in fact, my kind of 40th birthday trip that I have planned is to go to Scotland. My husband, as I've mentioned in some videos, is from London originally. We were just there at the beginning of May, and then we also went back this past Christmas. And so I was seeing all these fragrances in the duty-free shop. And of course, duty-free prices tend to be a little bit lower than the prices of especially new fragrances. So I was kind of eyeing these thinking, will I regret not picking one up because I hadn't smelled these yet. But anyway, so I just have my little fragrance sampling cards, I guess you would call them, and I wrote the name of the fragrance on the part that I'm not going to spray. So Highland Heather, it is the earthy and woody fragrance family according to Sephora. It says citrus and woods is the scent type, and the keynotes are cypress, heather, and amber. So let's go ahead and... yeah, I definitely get some earthiness to it. Yeah. So it says this fragrance is inspired by morning haze across the Highlands, which fades to reveal a wilderness blanketed by swathes. I think it's either swathes or swaths, depending on where you're from. Swathes of heather. An amethyst vision captured in a woody scent, enhanced with English lavender and freshened by cypress, grounded in sensual amber. So I do like this, but I think for me, this one, it reads more as a male fragrance, or is more masculine. I think it's that English lavender note that really kind of steers it in that direction. Yeah, so it's a bit like, I mean, it's been a while since I smelled Irish Spring, but to me, it's kind of a sophisticated version of like a men's body care product. So I like it. I'm curious if my husband would like this one. He doesn't wear fragrance all that often. Okay, so there's that one. And then the next one is Mallow on the Moor. So this one is in the earthy and woody fragrance family as well. But the scent type, according to Sakura, is earthy, green, and herbs. And the keynotes are violet leaf, mallow, and heliotrope. I can already smell kind of more of that floral note. It has like a light floral sweetness to it. This fragrance has notes of mallow flowers alongside notes of powdery heliotrope in this soft floral scent enriched by the naturality of violet leaves. The scent is inspired by pretty mallow flowers spilling across an untamed Scottish landscape. So I held this up earlier just to demo the size. This is the Mimosa and Cardamom. I mean, Mimosa isn't named as a note in this fragrance, but something about the kind of creaminess of the floral kind of reminds me of this, but with a little bit more of like a green note to it, like a green floral. So that one's also very nice. Okay, so moving on to Melancholy Thistle. So I haven't experienced anything yet that I really feel like I need to wear personally. Okay, so Melancholy Thistle. So this is the earthy and woody fragrance family. So 3 of the 4 are in the same fragrance family. This one, like Mallow on the Moor, is also the earthy green and herbs scent type. So let's see what this one is like. So this one, it says the keynotes are thistle, English ivy, and cool wood. I feel like this one has a little bit more of a spicy note to it. It says this fragrance is inspired by bold and bright melancholy thistles guarding a long abandoned castle in the Scottish Highlands. Entwined with the green freshness, this woody aromatic scent is underpinned by cool wood to summon the ivy-covered stone walls inside a majestic relic. So this one to me also reads a little bit more masculine, and I feel like it still has a bit of that kind of freshness aftershave type feeling to it, but it's like the person who I was smelling in Highland Heather who just got out of the shower. Now they've kind of like put on their smoking jacket and gone into their library with like the leather chair and the books, and maybe they've smoked a cigar at some point. Yeah, so I think I'm getting a lot of that wood note in here. Yeah, very interesting. So the last one here, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this correctly, is Wild Achillea. So we'll see what this one smells like. So this is the fresh fragrance family, so different one from the others. It's a fresh floral, and the notes are wild achillea, nettle, and vetiver. So it says this fragrance contains notes of golden bundles of wild achillea and sparkling notes of bright bergamot, entwined with the tangy sting of nettle. The greenness is balanced on a base of soft white musk. Yeah, so this one is reading a lot more kind of green to me. It's like if you're laying down in a meadow with all the grass and everything, and maybe you're like drinking some lemonade. Like there's that citrus that's coming through, but it's not too sweet or anything. So that's really, really interesting. Okay, so as far as ranking them, I guess my thoughts on this are Melancholy Thistle and Highland Heather to me both read pretty masculine. So personally, I would not care to wear either of these, but I wouldn't mind if my husband did. I feel like I'm getting more of an herbal note on this Highland Heather now. Maybe oregano or something. Yeah, and this one, to me, it kind of has like a grandfathery type smell to it, which is not a bad thing, but that's kind of the scent memory I have. I mean, both are really nice, honestly. Okay, so those are Highland Heather and Melancholy Thistle, and let's see. Yeah, I still get that creaminess, but with a bit more green to it compared to like the Mimosa and Cardamom. Yeah, I just get like the feeling of like being in a field or a meadow with a lot of sun, not too hot, just kind of a cool Scottish day, I guess. Okay, so yeah, so those are all really nice. I guess it just depends on whether, you know, that's something you would personally want to wear, but I'm certainly pleased that I was able to try those out. Okay, so yeah, that was it for the, Highlands collection. And then talking about the Sakura Cherry Blossom collection. So I got the 1 fluid ounce or 30 ml size. This one retails for $82. You can get the 3.4 ounce for $158. I just opted for this size in the Sephora sale, so I was able to get, I guess, 20% off. I think the bigger size is the same general design. It's just a little bit bigger in the base. I kind of like the proportions of this little guy, though. It almost looks like a like game piece or something. You can also get a set of 2 minis in the mini Sakura and the English pear and freesia scents. So these aren't the correct scents, but just for scale. So you can get those 2 fragrances in these sizes for $45. But then you kind of miss out on the really fun pink packaging. But anyway, this is a floral. It's a classic floral. And the notes are bergamot, cherry blossom, and rosewood. So I have already worn this and smelled it. So this won't be kind of a new experience for me. It says the fragrance has the essence of modern romance. With violet leaves and a hint of lemon, it unfolds like a bouquet of freshly cut garden roses. And if you've been on my channel and you've seen any of my other perfume videos, I really love rose scents. That's probably my favorite note in fragrance. So it says this is a romantic light floral inspired by a bouquet of freshly cut garden roses. And I do like this. It's a very like light, fresh floral. Definitely not overpowering on the rose, so if you're not a fan of that. And I don't get really all that much citrus at all, maybe just enough to kind of keep it fresh. Yeah, so I think this to me is kind of a pretty straightforward cherry blossom scent. And this is a cologne, like a lot of Jo Malone's fragrances. And I thought just for the sake of comparison, I would talk about this one from Guerlain. I believe this is 2.5 ounces. And this retails for $110. So that works out to $44 per ounce as opposed to $82 for this 1 ounce container. So it's definitely a better value. They call this a fruity floral as opposed to a classic floral. And the notes are, it says nashi note, cherry blossom, and white musks. So it says this delicate fruity floral perfume opens with a cherry blossom accord. As the composition softens, notes of nashi pear. Okay, so I think that was supposed to be nashi pear instead of nashi note. Nashi pear and watermelon appear against a woody background with a hint of powdery violet. Yeah, and this one, it does have more of a fruity note to it. So to me, it just kind of depends. Putting the value proposition aside, it kind of depends whether you want more of a fruity floral or more of a fresh floral. I like both, to be honest. If you're on the fence, I mean, like I said, you can get a set of 2 minis for $45, although only half of the minis will be cherry blossom. The other kind of caveat is this is only available every so often as opposed to the Guerlain, which is available more often. So I think it might depend whether you're more concerned about kind of value for money or getting hold of something that's more limited. The Jo Malone I think of maybe is more of an early spring, and the Guerlain more of a late spring going into summer because it's a little bit more juicy and fruity. But like I said, both are nice. I don't think you can really go wrong if you are interested in a cherry blossom scent. And I know the fragrance house Floris, which is also a British brand, they do have a cherry blossom scent, which I have not experienced personally. But as far as other kind of really true cherry blossom scents, I think the Guerlain and the Jo Malone are the 2 that I'm most familiar with anyway. Of course, you have the Bath & Body Works Japanese cherry blossom, but that's kind of a different category of fragrance, if you will. So so those are my thoughts on some new fragrances from Jo Malone. I hope you guys found this helpful. Let me know if you've tried any of these yourself and what you think of them. And make sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you enjoyed this video. I still need to film my Penhaligon's video, so if you're into kind of more niche British fragrances, that will be coming at some point. But in general, I film a variety of beauty content on my channel, including makeup, skincare, and hair care. So anyway, I hope you guys... Oh, one more thing before I go. This is what the box for the Jo Malone fragrance looked like. Nothing too special. It has like a sleeve and a box like so. So I thought I would just quickly mention that. But anyway, that I think is everything I have to tell you. So hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.